Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel today. Welcome back to the Road to NBA 2K21 series here on the PlayStation 5. Last episode was an interesting one. After the drama that transpired with my Pelicans this offseason, I was dealt to the Knicks after 4 long years in New Orleans in exchange for RJ Barrett, and in turn teaming up with my childhood friend Faran in the same city that our basketball journeys began in. We both made our Big Apple debut in the historic Madison Square Garden last installment, beating the Detroit Pistons pretty handily. But one thing you need to know about our early season schedule is it picks up pretty quickly. We have 3 matchups against marquee teams this time out, along with a lengthy road trip coming up after this New York City showdown between our heated crosstown rivals, the Brooklyn Nets, who still have Durant and Kyrie in this series. No James Harden to be found, though. They still have Caris Levert, who I take the ball from right there. Corner tray ball from Faran. Not quite happening this time, but off the second effort. Nice job, Mitchell Robinson, who has been very sneakily good. And now we continue this episode. Robinson, a good addition for the Knicks as he kept that play alive. Faran knocks down the 3 here. Still in the early goings of this New York City showdown. Cade Cunningham hits nothing but air on that shot attempt right there. He wasn't very good in his NBA debut against the Pistons, and he's starting off kind of sour here. We'll give him another chance though. Doesn't decide to take this 3, instead of hand it off to me. I'm still looking for my first basket of the ball game on Kyrie Irving, and I'll get it to drop right there. I was pretty decent, shot 6 of 10 in my opening game against the Pistons, and Faran, he was very solid, scoring over 20 points as he gets the deflection right there, climbs the ladder, and we're out on the break. Here we go. How about that pass going back door to Cade Cunningham on the fast break? Got to get the rookie some more easy looks. And how about Faran, one of the highest flyers in the league? Man, look how high he got up to disrupt that alley-oop. And then the backdoor feed to the rookie Cunningham as he slams it on top of Robert Covington. Very nice job there running that break. 13 to 10 Brooklyn, trying a step back 3 is Rocco. He's not having it that time. Quick outlet pass to Cade Cunningham as he starts to take over a little bit here. He'll knock down Rocco and he'll Euro step his way to another basket here in the first quarter. Cade Cunningham right now, you're just looking for him to make some positive plays, not do anything too crazy as we head to the second quarter. Durant off the mark that time, down by 7. But keep your eye on the rookie right here. He takes control after grabbing that rebound and takes it coast to coast on Caris Levert. And with an exclamation point, cuts the lead down to 5. Cade Cunningham, the highly coveted prospect, with his first real highlight play of his NBA career. Very impressive there by the rookie. Still down by 8 though. We're starting to get our bearings a little bit more on offense as time goes by. Cunningham again will not be done though. He finds Randall, who slips the pick and roll. A crisp bounce pass. Wow. How about another look at another Cunningham led play? Beautiful dish. You already know Cade can facilitate with any rookie, and hopefully in a couple years with anybody. I feel like this is going to be a very fun backcourt to watch over time. But Durant and Kyrie Irving doing their part to keep us off their backs. Look at that, 7 more 3-pointers than the Nets. Our offense has been struggling a little bit here in this ball game. A lot of contact there, not called for Faran. Should have been some free throws there. But once again, keeping the play alive, it's Mitchell Robinson. 8 seconds to shoot as the ball resets to me. A lot of contact, but I fight my way through it, glide to the rim, and with a free throw on top of the 3-point play, I got a chance to cut this bad boy back down to single digits. Kyrie Irving not shooting the greatest, only 1 for 5 at halftime, but on my accord, I'm outdoing him so far. 40 to 31, but it's been a really good team effort by Brooklyn as Caris Levert tries to extend the lead. He's swatted by Faran, but that's been kind of how it's going so far for us. Can't catch many breaks right now against Brooklyn, and that's just a callback of how good this team is right now. How about Levert? He'll step to his left and knock down another 3. It's an 11-0 run for the Brooklyn Nets, and things aren't looking very good now for the Knicks. We were definitely throwing a softball last episode against the Pistons to open up our season, but we will be definitely tested this episode. We got this game, we got Portland, we got back at home against the defending champions Miami Heat. We're going to have a lot of tests and a lot of tough battles this episode to really gauge where this young team is at. Safe to say though, this is far and away not how I expected this Brooklyn game to go, but it's understandable. We're facing two of the best off the dribble players in the league, and they've had 2 years together now, Kyrie and KD. Meanwhile, Faran, myself, Cade Cunningham, and the rest of the Knicks bunch, we've only had 2 games to try to get some chemistry. It's a really weird box score at halftime. Obi Toppin leads us with 7 points, yet he shot 1 for 9. A lot of free throws made for the second-year pro. Faran is 2 for 10, Cade 3 for 10, I'm 2 for 4, but I do have 4 turnovers to my name, only 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Speaking of the 2 best off the dribble players, let's check in with them. You see Durant right here with 19 points. Yet I'm only limiting Kyrie to 8 shots, and he's only scored 5 points so far in this ball game. So I'm doing a good job on Kyrie. The only thing is Durant is really helping Brooklyn spread out the attack. 61-42. Let's check back in here in Madison Square Garden. Just trying to make this game a lot more competitive than how it's been. As Faran comes off a screen, this is a little far for most players, but Faran, his 3-point success is not like most players, man. He's really had an amazing range ever since we played together in high school. 63-45. How about Cade Cunningham trying to take control once again? Met with 2 players as Kyrie's out of position. Cade dishes it off to me, and this is a play right here I could see me and Faran doing in real life. I drive, draw the defense in, and Faran comes right behind me, spots up, knocks down a huge 3 to cut it back to 15. 7:40 left to go. Kyrie still trying to get things going. He tries to muscle his way past me, and I do all I can. Unfortunately, he will knock that one down. A quick 5 points for Kyrie here in the third quarter. 70-48. As Faran brings it up the other way. Still plenty of time to go. Dribble handoff. Nice screen from Mitch. And I'm throwing up the lob. I only had a handful of assists in the Pistons game, and in this game it's not any easier to find my teammates for dimes, but it was a nice pass there. However, I could only get it down to 20 before I check out with Faran, and coming back in it's 85-66, so still a lot of work to go before we can even talk about a comeback. Nonetheless, though, I'm out here on the floor with 4 bench players, including Emmanuel Quickly, who sets me up pretty nicely on this play. I'll take it all the way to the rack, bump the foul, and that will drop through. Very lucky as we take a second look at this play. Emmanuel Quickly with the nice feed there, as I actually changed his face. As you guys may know, NBA 2K right now doesn't have a face scan for Quickly despite of how good of a rookie season he had. Look at that roll, man. I got really lucky there. But Emmanuel Quickly, you see here, after the first episode of my New York Knicks career, I decided to change his face up a little bit, gave him some different hair, made his shorts a little bit smaller up to his thighs, just like how he wears them in real life. Let me know what you think about my Emmanuel Quickly, if he looks pretty good. Now I'm going to hit the flashing Obi Toppin to the top of the key as he knocks it down there. Obi Toppin, not looking very tentative there. I mean, he seems a little bit shy on offense in real life, but no hesitation to pull the trigger on that one. And Obi Toppin, as you'll see, he is by far our best bench player so far this season. I set a nice screen here for Faran to begin the fourth quarter as he knocks down yet another triple. Wouldn't be surprised to see my hometown friend in the 3-point contest, however a long ways off of All-Star Weekend. 93-75, Durant finally misses. Man, he's having a field day out there so far. And this was a pretty interesting play right here. I met with 2 Brooklyn defenders and almost like a running back finding a hole in the middle of the offensive line. I make myself smaller. I escape past Jared Allen and Irving, and that's the easiest layup I'm going to have all night. 95-77 though. Doesn't look like we're going to get the win as I force Kyrie into a miss right there. However, my defense on him has been a little worse for wear here in the fourth quarter, but I do put a move on Kyrie right here. Get him all twisted around. Get some moves and alls from Madison Square Garden. And that was a very nice take right there. Only 12 points for me, however, tonight. 6 rebounds, 7 assists as we're down by 17, approaching 5 minutes in the ball game. Some more plays to recap as there's a beautiful dish there. I had a plethora of assists last year using that wraparound pass. This year, you'll see this episode, it's been a lot harder for me to make these flashy passes inside the paint. I think teams are really starting to look for it more. However, I think that's part of it, but there's also the part of the fact that I'm still garnering some chemistry with my new teammates. I think that's been a big part of why my performance hasn't been amazing so far in my brief Knicks career. But at the end of the day, 112-90 after that garbage time layup is the final final score. Yeah, we really took this one on the chin. Brooklyn beat us by almost over 20, I should say, on our home floor. 16-9, a much better performance. However, those 7 turnovers, that's an eyesore to look at. Toppin was great, 15-9 off the bench. Cade Cunningham was definitely a little improved, however he didn't shoot very well. Faran, 6 of 21. Nobody really had a great day out there for the Knicks, except maybe Obi Toppin. And as you can see here, Kyrie Irving, whenever I checked out there for a couple minutes in garbage time, he kind of let loose on our backup point guard, Emmanuel Quickly. So moving on, we got some simulating to hop into. This is our long road stretch I was talking about before the Nets game. And throughout the entire road series, we exchanged wins and losses until the very end. 112-86, we open up with a huge win against the Indiana Pacers. I only had 11, but 11 assists, only 2 turnovers. Didn't shoot the ball very well, but I set up Faran and Randall well this game. Then we have a hard-fought loss against Atlanta, 20-14 for myself. Cade Cunningham was pretty decent, might be his best performance here in the Atlanta game. And then we have a huge overtime victory against the Utah Jazz, who were one of the best teams in the West last season. 17-10 for myself. And once again, Obi Toppin was great off the bench, and Faran chipped in 14 and 3 steals. Now we move on to this Oklahoma City game where the Thunder are putting on a pretty good team. They drafted Jalen Suggs here in the series, but then we take one on the chin against Sacramento and then lose a 1-point heartbreaker against the new look Timberwolves. They added John Wall, Jonathan Kuminga in the draft, and DeMarcus Cousins off the bench, so the Timberwolves may be a dark horse in the Western Conference this season. Obi Toppin with 21 once again lighting it up from the field. 4 made threes for him off the bench. Faran with a huge performance, 28-7. As we finish off this road series against the Portland Trailblazers, we sit at 4-4, trying to get back above 500 rather. And of course, Donovan Gray and our heated rivals Damian Lillard. I love the comments I get from you guys. You guys love the rivalry between me and Dame. There's my stats there at the right: 17 points, 10 assists, 5.5 rebounds so far a couple weeks into my Knicks career. Damian Lillard, the 2-time MVP, won one last year as we took down Portland in the Western Conference Finals off of Rashawn Holmes' magnificent game-winning layup on the live stream. Still one of my favorite moments of this series. But now, donning a new jersey with new treads, it's going to be interesting to see if this rivalry is just as heated as it was when I was in the Big Easy. Portland gets on the board with a shot from Donovan and one from Taurean Prince, the new acquisition for Portland. But Faran there, he gives me the assist as we cut into this lead a little bit. He knocks down the 3-pointer, but Damian Lillard with the response, man. He's so quick at that trigger finger. One thing that helps us in this game is that Portland is missing Jusuf Nurkic. He's out for a couple weeks with a broken hand, so that'll be definitely to our beneficiary for sure, as Jusuf Nurkic always killed us on the glass when I was in New Orleans. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a push off there on that layup, but I knocked that down. My first basket here against Portland in a new city. And it's also not doing us any favors that this is in the Moda Center. Of course, we all know it very well from my days in New Orleans. One of the toughest places to play if you're an opposing team, especially a team like us, as these Knicks, we're one of the youngest teams in the entire association. Nice layup there from Donovan. I tried to get a 15-foot jump shot to go there. It was open, but no good. Instead, Cade Cunningham will try to take charge. As for some reason my jump shot hasn't been very consistent so far. I think I'm still getting over the Knicks' nerves as Randall smokes the layup there. Nice pass from Cade Cunningham, but Randall off target there from underneath. And not only does Damian Lillard out-rebound me once on this possession, but he'll make it back-to-back as he boxes me out, grabs the miss, and puts it through as I foul him from behind. Damian Lillard, no matter what city I'm in, no matter what treads I'm rocking on my navel, he's still always going to prevent me from, or provide me the biggest challenge for sure out of any NBA player, I feel. Nice assist though there from Faran. I had the pass to the assist as Cunningham knocks down the 3-pointer. And now Lillard will try to challenge our defense, but Mitchell Robinson says no to the 2-time MVP. As we all know, Lillard has embarrassed me a few times with some jams, but Robinson has my back, and Not the most sexy play there, but I do put my shoulder into Lillard, show off some grit, and with the drop step move, I get my second basket of the night. 27 apiece now as Lillard tries to go down in the low post. Again, no good from CJ as that one's tipped away from Faran, and then Nadim wants to rise up and jam it over CJ as if the block wasn't already embarrassing for McCollum enough. Wow, what a play there, as for the second straight game, Faran wants to show off his vertical. I think Portland's on basically the same tier as Brooklyn, but we're looking a lot better this game than we did last. As I take this one away from Lillard, I force the turnover and we build on our lead. A 4-point cushion now as there's points 5 and 6 off of the steal from Damian Lillard as he tries a 3 again as he falls to 40% from the field on the ball game. Knotted up at 31 now as I put the moves on him a little bit. He stops me from going baseline, so instead Faran with a very smart play, he runs behind me. Trailing the play was Donovan and Faran knocks it down with ease. And finally, the Knicks have their biggest lead of the ball game. It's only 5, but it's something right now against one of the best teams in the NBA last season. Portland actually had the second best record in the entire association. As you can see here, Lillard is mad. He looked pretty pissed there as he tried to come right back at me, and he ended up turning it over. And we run the break, and I throw that one down on top of the Portland defense. A beautiful possession there. Down by 7 is Portland. They cut it to 3 heading into the locker room. A great first half there by our New York Knicks. Not too shabby of a performance against my rival and the West's best team from a season ago. It all started with our grit. We out-rebounded Portland by 8 at the half right now. Missing Jusuf Nurkic doesn't help, but that shouldn't take away from our effort. We're really working hard this game. Faran put up a dozen points with that block on CJ. Toppin again has been our best bench player with 9 and 6 in only 9 minutes. And Cade Cunningham marked in every category pretty well. I'm still getting my legs under me a bit, only 8 points and 3 assists. Not overly impressive, but I feel as if I'm still gaining traction as I go along. Lillard leads all with 18 points, and as we look to Donovan, he's kind of been neutralized by Julius Randle, but at the same time, Donnie, the former DPOI winner, he's neutralizing Randle just as much. Obviously, everyone's familiar with how good this Portland offense is and how elite they've been over the past couple years in the series, but I think a key for us is not to play scared and just keep doing what we're doing, and that's what I try to do here as I deflect the lazy pass from CJ, and I'm going up and jamming my second dunk of the contest. Love to see it. We're up by 5, our biggest lead of the entire ball game thus far. Love to see it. And of course, Donovan, though, not much time has elapsed since my dunk, and Donovan lets it fly from 3. Can never be too comfortable against this loaded Portland offense. 57-56. We got 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter, trying to put the double move on Lillard, and that take to the cup wasn't the smartest, but I do luck out definitely a bit there. Tom Thibodeau does like what he sees. You know, he enjoys that grit and grind type game from his players. And here from the line, I know my percentages haven't been great from the field so far in my Knicks career, but from the line, that's definitely one place where they haven't wavered. Another pair of perfect free throws as I check out. I come back in down 6 with only seconds left to play in the third quarter. And now on this possession, I'm looking for Faran, and he makes a no-look dish into Randle. Wow! Soaring up high, and down hard is Julius Randle, putting that one down over Noah Vonleh. And Randle's been a little frustrated here this year. He's been definitely under expectations, but maybe a dunk like that can get him going. 4 seconds left for Ron with a nice dish to Randle, and now it gives one off to me. I do a little twirl to get my feet behind the line, and I knock that one down as time expires here in the third quarter. What a wonderful way to end this third period of play, and it was mostly thanks to Faran facilitating this pass and the pass to Randle the possession prior, and that 3 looked good right out of my hand. Heading to the fourth quarter, the Knicks, one of the youngest teams in the NBA, hanging with the West's best team from a season ago. We begin the final period with our starting 5 out there. Meanwhile, Portland with no Lillard and Donovan on the floor as I skate my way past Anthony Simons. Nice dish from Julius Randle as I go back door. And we are right back in the driver's seat once again, but Portland with a couple quick baskets, 85-81 as their starting 5 checks back in. Vonleh looking to facilitate here, maybe a little triangle set from Portland as Lillard pops out. Great contest from me, but Lillard once again, sometimes it's just, luck of the draw. I mean, you never know when Lillard's going to make his three. It almost doesn't even matter if you get a hand in his face or not. Donovan pops here, up by 7 is Portland, but we're looking to cut into that lead as Julius Randle punishes him for trying that floater, and Mitchell Robinson sets me up perfectly. There's points 17 and 18 for myself, courtesy of Mitch for giving me a perfect outlet pass. 90 to 83. Down under 6 minutes to play. Randle pops doesn't want to take the three there. Instead, he'll set things up with Cade Cunningham. We are in need of a big lift, and Cade Cunningham, the rookie, gives us that boost, cutting the lead down to a 4-point deficit. 5:25 left to go. We are looking pretty good despite the fact Portland's hot here in the fourth quarter. We're doing more than just hang with them. And Faran, wow, he's so explosive around the rim. He makes another one. And once again, Faran's above 20 points. It's pretty much customary for him to get above that threshold as he's up above 20 points per game here in his 6th NBA campaign. 94-90, approaching 4 minutes to play. Me and Mitch doing a little pick and roll here. I'm trapped down low, but a great job by Randle not giving up on that play, being ready to catch that ball. He secured it, cleared out with the sweep, and he was open from 15 feet. Nice job there. There's assist number 6 for yours truly. 94-92, back to a one-possession game, but a quick V-cut. Not much time there in the shot clock elapsed until Lillard finds that three, and once again I thought I did a good job getting a hand up, but Lillard right now is feeling it here in the fourth quarter. Right now we're in danger of dropping 3 straight against Portland. Here we go, 3:30 left to go as Faran pops. He's open, but that's a little long for anybody. No good there, but I stay after. I tip that outlet pass by Vonleh, and Randle's open. No look dish, and the silky smooth lefty jump shot of Julius Randle cuts it to 3. What a heads up play there by myself as I stayed after it, and I got into the head of Noah Vonleh and secured that steal and the assist. 101-96, we need all the help we can get down the stretch here. Corner tray ball. Here's Torrin Prince for the dagger, but we catch a break there. Rebound number 2 as I'm looking for a playmaker here on the break. Give this one off to Randle, and he's pro-hopping his way to a 3-point deficit. Nice job, Randle. This has been his best game in a couple weeks now. And who else other than the Trailblazers were we in for a photo finish as Lillard bounce pass, no look to CJ, but again, unlucky is Portland as McCollum can't make us pay. 101-98 still as we're resetting this ball to Cade Cunningham. One-on-one against Torrin Prince here as he resets it to me, though nothing doing in this possession as the clock ticks down to 7. Gotta improvise a little bit here. Mitch sets me a screen. 5 seconds. Wraparound pass to Robinson. It gets through, and Mitch throws it down. I've tried that pass over and over again in this episode, that wraparound pass in the paint that gave me so many assists last year. I had so many turnovers in the Nets game because of it, but finally one gets through. Here comes Lillard with a head full of steam. No look pass, but it's bobbled by McCollum. Back inside to Lillard, and just a cumbersome possession by Portland as it ends in a rejection thanks to Robinson. Down by 1, Faran will set his feet, try the 3 for the lead, and that one's just a tad long though. Okay, might have rushed that possession a little bit, but we're still well in control if we can get a stop here. Stop and a score, and we're back in front. Lillard weaves his way inside the paint, throws up a prayer, and it goes through. No way. How did Lillard get that one to drop? No time to think about it. Got to put that in the back burner. Got to take this back up the other way, and that layup keeps our hopes alive. 103-102, Portland up by 1, and Donnie's having a little bit of trouble off in the inbound, and he finally gets it into Lillard, and Dame does not take advantage of that lane I provided for him. Instead, he'll try to dwindle this clock down, him and his Blazer buddies. He'll kick this to the corner. Prince decides to reverse it. I went for the steal, almost tipped it, but under 10 seconds to go, I decided to cut my losses and just decide to foul Lillard. And the clock dwindles down to 3.4 seconds due to the fact I had 5 fouls, so I couldn't waste another one on Lillard and foul out. Took me, my teammates rather, an extra 5 seconds to foul Lillard. He knocks down 2 for 2 thanks to some MVP chance fueling him. And we have one last possession, a crazy last minute here against Portland, and it all comes down to this. 3.4 left on the clock. Faran flashes to the corner for the tie. Overtime? No, it's off. It's long, and we drop our 3rd straight game, 105-102 here in the Moda Center. A super hard fought game. We just didn't have what it took in the tank there at the end, as we dropped this game by 3. 23 for Faran, 21 for myself. We both break 20 points. This might have been my best game of the season of my Knicks career. 21-9, a whopping 4 steals, 9 of 16 from the floor. Cade Cunningham also was solid too with 14 and 8. And Julius Randle, he put the pieces together there at the end to have a pretty solid fourth quarter. Obi Toppin only 3 for 10, but once again he did provide a punch whenever I was off the floor with 9 and 9. And even though this was a loss, I do like what I saw here. I feel like this is a great game to build off of and try to break this losing streak sooner rather than later. Emmanuel Quickley only 1 for 5. Not only has Randle been disappointing, but Emmanuel Quickley definitely has not packed that same punch that we've seen in real life. Meanwhile, of course, Damian Lillard 45 points. Who else but Dame Dollar to really take things over in the fourth quarter? He made so many threes with my hand right in his face, but it just was not enough. Donovan Gray with 10 and 12, double-double number a million for him in his NBA career. Another solid night for him. As we move right along, we are wrapping up this long road trip as we head back home against the defending champions, the Miami Heat, that knocked us off in the NBA Finals a season ago. Of course, I was in a different city back then, the New Orleans Pelicans, and it was really hard to manufacture any offense against the Heat a season ago. But back at home with new treads, new arena, new teammates, we'll see if the Miami Heat still have what it takes to become a contender for the second straight season. And as you can see, we're rocking some old school treads here. Back in the 90s, the Knicks-Heat rivalry was one of the best rivalries in the entire NBA, and I wanted to try to have a callback to that here, matching up against the Heat as a quick hitter play for Faran gets us started very swiftly here, back at home. And that road trip was really a tough one. We had a lot of great teams we played, a lot of West Coast games, even an overtime game against Utah. But being back here at MSG, I think we can put the pieces together and have a nice little run moving forward. 5 unanswered points for the Knicks. Nice job there by Faran. He's led the NBA twice in steals per game, and he's making his presence felt here as he runs the break with me. I'm getting trapped here down low, up to a 2-point advantage for the Knicks. As I scan the floor, Cade Cunningham wants a screen, and he'll navigate to his right a little bit, and he will stop and pop from 3. Beautiful shot there. One of the best starts we've had in a while, and it's coming against the defending champions. Gotta love what you're seeing right now from the Knicks. And not only did the Miami Heat knock us off, but we're also facing off against one of our former teammates this game, Josh Hart. Of course, the Pelicans, we lost to the Heat in the NBA Finals a season ago, and where does Josh Hart decide to sign? Of course, it's Miami. So obviously a little bit of bad blood just because of that right there, but we checked back in, and the Miami Heat, they took it to our second unit as I'm lobbing Obi Toppin there as he continues to be our best bench player. But that lob only cuts to 15. I don't know what happened there whenever I checked out, but basically that run there in the second quarter by the Miami Heat, it basically set the tempo for the rest of the game. I'm running here with some bench players down in the meat of the third quarter, and Obi Toppin a very confidence-driven three-pointer there, a little behind the back, step back. You don't see too many 6'11" players doing that. I'm definitely just going to be skimming this Miami Heat game, as ever since the second quarter, it was all Miami from then on out. As Obi Toppin, though, you saw him with those back-to-back assists from me, assisting to Obi Toppin. He's been our best bench player, 11 and 5 off the bench for Obi. As you see me with that pull-up J, it took us almost the entire fourth quarter to get above 70 for the game. And that really shows just how bad our offense there. Another sloppy possession here, as on the fast break, Butler with a head full of steam knocks over Randle, steps over him, and records a three-point play. And Randle, you can see here, he's a little shaken up. He's holding that right knee, and it's hard to tell what that injury is. I pick him up off the ground, but he's still walking a little gingerly, and he would actually check out after that free throw. Obi Toppin, who's been our best bench player here in Season 5, he'll check back in, and look at this. Garrett Temple, out of all players, navigating to his right and off balance, hitting a three-pointer. And at least this is a game where my jump shot was very solid all the way through. As you've seen through simulating and through in-game, my jump shot has definitely struggled a little bit here in my Knicks career. But this game, my jumper was the best, but this was the worst blowout loss we took. 110-79, our biggest margin of defeats here in my brief Knicks career. 19-5-6, not a bad night, but once again 7 turnovers and 6 for 15 shooting. Most of my field goals were jump shots, though, to say the least, to be fair. Once again, quickly struggled. Toppin was solid again, and once again, more frustrating minutes from Julius Randle. It's hard to know what is going on with him right now. Faran was pretty much neutralized, only 15 points, under 50% shooting from my hometown buddy. This was a good response game for me on defense. I only held Dragic to 6 points, and Josh Hart had 10 and 9 in his rematch against me and my former teammates. So as you can see here in the next episode, our schedule does ease up a lot. We've been playing a lot of Western Conference teams on the road recently, and of course the defending champions last game, but it does ease up. We're sitting with 4 straight losses, trying to break that next time you see me on the road to NBA 2K21 series. My numbers do look better here over time. The percentages are going up. Randall's gonna miss 2 to 4 weeks with a bone bruise in his right knee after colliding with Jimmy Butler last game. All in all, it's going to take a little while for us to nurture more and develop some more chemistry, but there have been flashes this episode. You gotta like the future that this team has, and it's going to be cool to see Obi Toppin in replacement for Randall these next couple weeks due to how well he's been playing off the bench. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and hopefully next time you see me on the road to NBA 2K21, we start to figure out these chemistry issues a little bit and make a run here in the Eastern Conference.